Managing time effectively can be essential for productivity, but with so many competing tasks and priorities, it can be a challenge to stay on track. This presentation covers a range of time management methodologies, from prioritization frameworks to scheduling techniques and time audits. So whether you're looking to set clear goals, structure your workday effectively, or analyze how your time is spent, these tools will help you make the most of your day. To download this template and get started completely for free, all you have to do is check out the description of this video. So let's jump into the template. So this presentation includes slides on different time management methodologies, time prioritization, and time audits. The 4 disciplines of execution, or 4XD framework, is especially useful in situations where distractions and competing priorities can derail the progress. So for the first discipline, set your wildly important goals, or WIGs, and identify 1 or 2 critical objectives that will make the biggest difference, whether on a company level or individual department level. Each goal specifies the before and after metrics and the deadline. And below each goal, you can also add details on what resources are needed to support or finance the goal. Now for discipline 2, you should break down each WIG into lag measure and lead measures, and customize the target outcome metrics so that there's always a goalpost to measure progress against. Next up, for discipline 3, keep a detailed scoreboard. This is where you visualize progress for the lead measures and lag measures that contribute to the overall WIG. Progress can be tracked by either task status or throughout a time period. In this case, how much of the task has been accomplished in each day. And finally, for discipline 4, create accountability with regular progress view. Here you can track weekly commitments and compare last week's results with upcoming week's commitments. This timeline at the bottom indicates the present time period and its review mechanism. Now, every organization and individual has unique priorities and work styles, which is why this template is of course fully customizable. So whether you're tracking team-wide execution or personal productivity, these slides can be adapted to suit your requirements. This illustration of Parkinson's law is used to show that work expands to fill the time available for its completion. The chart compares different effort levels across different time frames, and as you can see, the tighter the time frame, the higher and more concentrated the effort. You can use this chart to highlight how tighter deadlines encourage focus and efficiency. Time value mapping analyzes how time is spent and finds areas to prioritize high-value activities. The map breaks work tasks into value-added, essential non-value-added time, and non-value-added time. And with that information, the cycle time timeline totals up the amount of time in each segment. The ABCDE method categorizes tasks into 5 groups, with task A being the most critical tasks and group E being tasks that can be eliminated. For each task on the table, you can specify its due date, and on these columns on the left, you can choose which task it belongs to, and the focus should be on high-value activities. With the most important tasks method, or MITs, start each day by selecting the most critical tasks that must be completed. These tasks are addressed during peak productivity hours, and after completing your MITs, secondary and additional tasks can be tackled. Now for each task, assign a duration by filling in a 15-minute segment. So for example, 4 segments will be 1 hour and 12 seconds would be 3 hours. Now to access the full version of this template, be sure to check out the UXEC website and sign up for a Plus membership. With a free account, you get to download 30% of the slides, but with a Plus membership, you get to unlock the full deck. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel to stay updated on the latest business frameworks and resources. So the deep work framework emphasizes the power of focused, distraction-free work to achieve peak productivity and create high-value output. Deep work is usually used for tasks that require high mental energy or cognitive load. In contrast to that, shallow work can be applied to logistical tasks that don't require a lot of mental energy and can be done in a more distracted state. Unlike deep work, shallow work does not create new value and is easy to copy. Now, with that differentiation in mind, first assess if the task at hand is considered as deep work or shallow work by scoring each of these assessment questions on a sliding scale. Then pick which deep work schedule suits you. Now, to learn more about the 4 types of deep work schedules, refer to this outline, which visualizes the cadence and concentration timeline for the monastic, bimodal, rhythmic, and journalistic deep work styles. Finally, create your deep work routine by defining these 5 areas. What would make your deep work session a success? Where should this work be done? How long should your session last? What are some basic ground rules you need to follow? And how will you take care of yourself during the session? Now, if you need this presentation in another language, you can check out our AI translator completely for free. You can easily convert the entire deck into multiple languages in just a few clicks. Now, the Pomodoro technique breaks down work into short, focused intervals called Pomodoros, typically 25 minutes, followed by short breaks. These small sessions can help lower psychological resistance to starting tasks that feel intimidating. To start, consider organizing a task list based on task priority. And the 2x2 matrix here, by the way, is inspired by the Eisenhower matrix. Then tabulate your organized task list and note how many Pomodoros you plan on giving each task. By the way, if you wonder why Pomodoros have a tomato icon, it's because the idea of Pomodoro was inspired by the old school tomato-shaped timers that were popular in the kitchen. Unlike traditional to-do lists, which focus on task completion, time boxing dedicates fixed time periods to specific tasks, whether or not the task is fully completed. For this weekly time boxing sheet, each task is also assigned a color code to denote what type of task it is. So for example, you can see how much time is spent on meetings this week. Alternatively, task batching also groups similar tasks into focused time blocks. So from left to right, you can see how each card gets to be grouped and the total amount of time that a task batch requires. Now, a sure way to save time is by passing on certain tasks to someone else who has both the capacity and bandwidth. And if you wonder if a task can be delegated, consider referring to this decision map. To provide guidance on the delegated task, use this table to detail the desired results, rules and guidelines, resources involved, accountability, and consequences for success and failure. You might already be familiar with the Pareto principle or the 80-20 rule. When it's applied to time management, focus on the high-impact tasks that drive the majority of outcomes but don't necessarily take up most time. So for example, this task list takes up 15 hours altogether, but yields a significant financial return. On the other hand, tasks that take up a lot of time might only lead to very little gain. So these low-value tasks can be the ones you delegate, automate, or minimize. The time audit flowchart maps out the process flow of a task batch, and this can be applied to the contribution of multiple team members. For each task in the workflow, note the amount of time spent. And the pie chart at the top is a summation of how much time each team member spent on the entire task batch. Mastering time management can make a significant impact on your productivity and efficiency. We hope this presentation helps you streamline your workflow and get more done in less time. Thank you for watching.